Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena action. I'm gonna be honest, the reason that I haven't made a lot of videos this week is that I've been playing a lot of Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, which is a really good expansion pack. Probably not worth 40 bucks. Like, it's overpriced, but it is good, you know? Like, I guess I wouldn't mind paying $40 for what was really probably a $20 expansion, just because it's good. I enjoy the new class and everything. Anyway, starting off with a Shaman run here. Questing Adventure has been pretty good for me lately, but the Azure Drake is just solid, solid, solid. Ah, boy. People say you should play with one Bloodlust in every Shaman Arena deck. And maybe that's true, but I hate taking one this early because if there's another bad pack later, I don't want to play with two of them, you know? So I'm going to take the Panda because that is a really great 4-drop. And this is a very, very good 5-drop, but let's make sure we have some 2-drops. We'll take the Berserker, the best one in the game. This is a terrible creature. We're going to take the Golem here. It's a premier 3-drop. Hex. Oh, God. Well, I hate passing on Unbound Elemental because it's so strong, but you cannot pass on Hex. It is the only single-click kill-anything Shaman card. Here again, we have Bloodlust versus Wind Fury with this time a bad card. Unlike the Panda, which was here last time, this is a pretty terrible card. Especially because Shamans have such excellent single-target removal. This is just pretty abysmal. Some people swear by Wind Fury. That card's bad. I should really make a video explaining, because it's been like kind of like ongoing through my whole channel. Like, people be like, oh, but this terrible card can be good in like XYZ situations. So I should just make a video explaining like how to evaluate cards. Anyway, we're gonna take Bloodlust here because Wind Fury is bad. And Bloodlust yet again. Luckily, Ooze is something I'm fine with taking. If it's a 3/2 for 2, then so be it. If it kills a weapon, great. Gonna take the only good card here, which is the Infiltrator, and it is a totally fine card. Oh gosh, Lightning Bolt versus Chillwind Yeti. Don't do this to me, game. I'm going to take a little risk here. I'm going to take a Yeti. I mean, the Lightning Bolt is great, but, God, Yeti is just freaking amazing on turn 4, so I'm just want to make sure I don't miss it. All right, well, here we go. We get a Legendary. Let's see if this is another 4 Legendary run here. I'm just going to take Illidan. 7/5 for 6 mana is actually just fine. If you think about it, a Boulder Fist Ogre is a 6/7. So this is just 1 stat point less than a Boulder Fist Ogre with, like, a game-changing ability. Now, qualitatively, I'd rather this were a 5/7 than a 7/5, because 5 health, you know, you can kill that relatively easily by the time you play it on turn 6, but still, versus a nerfed card drawer or Millhouse, lose the game, Mana Storm, I'm just going to take the Illidan here. And we followed up with an epic. Well, the Big Game Hunter is a really great card, but I am not passing on Earth Elemental. A 7/8 for 5 mana is pretty great. Yeah, it's got the overload, but still. I mean, even if you say that that's 8 mana, still. A 7/8 with Taunt for 8 mana, it's like an Ironbark Protector, but you can, like, pay the cost over 2 turns. That's pretty phenomenal. Alright, I don't want to take this because I don't have any weapons yet. This is a bad card, so I guess we'll take Stormwind Champion here and go for endgame. Similarly, this is good stats for a 5 mana minion. But we're starting to run up quite a few 5 mana cards here with only, like, you know, a third of the draft done. So I'm going to take No Mission Venture here, just keep my curve down a little bit. Oh, God. Okay. So I could just take this as a 2/1 for 1 that maybe will have charge if I pick up a Stormforged Axe. The Dust Devil, I mean, you could play that on turn 1 against someone who's not a rogue mage or a druid. I mean, it could be good. Could be. Later in the game, it's actually kind of interesting. If you drop it later in the game, the opponent really has to kill it. Or else, like, it swings for 6 damage a turn. I mean, whatever. We'll try it out. The Windspeaker's just abysmal. So, we'll try it. Let's keep an open mind trying these bad cards. Okay, I'll take a Questing Adventure here, but I'm going to take Manatide Totem. I like having the card draw option there. We'll take a Monkey. I don't have any taunt yet, except for the Earth Elemental. Yeah, so we'll take a Monkey here. I know it's not as good as the Silverhand Knight. Don't worry, I have not gone completely insane. It's just that we've got a decent amount of 5-drops already, and I wanted to have a little bit of taunt in the deck. So I could take a buff. I don't have any buffs either. Or I could take a Premier 3-drop again. I've got actually, yeah, I'm doing right on 3-drops, I think. I could take this guy. But, no, I'll take the buff. Bad buffs are better than no buffs, and currently I'm rocking no buffs. This is the only, like, Shaman removal spell that's bad, so of course it's the one that I get here. It's great. I could take another Gnomish Inventor. I think I'm doing fine on card draw, though, with the Manatide and the Gnomish Inventor. This, though, is another 3-drop, which I'm also doing fine on. Well, I'll take it, and then just not take any more. Flame Tongue Totem is exactly what I needed. Get some more buffing going on here. Get some more buffing and taunt going on here. Lovely. Okay. So the War Golem, I think I have enough endgame between Illidan, Earth Elemental, and Stormwind Champion. Keep in mind, this is really an 8-mana card that I don't need to take this bad in endgame. I will take Earthshock because silence is good, and sometimes the damage, of course, is fine as well. I'll take another Flame Tongue, that's alright. And I'll take another Chillwind. Well, the Fen Creeper's tempting because of Taunt, but I'm going to take a Yeti. And this is great. It's also the only playable card there. Oh my god. Well, I could use some more early game. All I really have, I mean, the Flame Tongues don't count. I just have the Ooze and the Berserker, so the Crocolisk is fine. And I don't need a third Flame Tongue, so I'll take a Loot Hoarder here. Okay, I'm going to take Tharian for a Grizzly, which I've said over and over is an underrated card. It's pretty good stats, and the taunt is amazing. The Shattered Sun and Cleric could be nice, but I'm going to take the Guardian here for some more 4-drops. There's a Stormforged Axe. Great. That card will just win you the game sometimes. Well, I didn't end up getting any endgame besides the Earth Elemental, Storm Rage, and the Stormwind Champion, but honestly, I think that's actually fine. So, do I take the Lava Burst for burn potential and removal, or do I take the Kodo for more conditional removal but a body? I'm going to take the Lava Burst. I think it's actually worth it. I like having a little bit of burn potential in my arena decks, and because I passed on Lightning Bolt to take a Yeti, and because I never saw any more Lightning Bolts or any Rockbiter weapons, I think having that direct damage is pretty important. So all I have for removal is Earthshock, Hex, and Lava Burst. A little bit weak for Shamans, and also I didn't get any Lightning Storms, which is a rare, so you're not always going to get it, but it's a very important card. I think I would wager that there's a very high correlation between someone having Lightning Storm as a Shaman and how well they do in Arena. I would wager. I'm not certain, of course. So I kept this opening hand, and why did I keep the opening hand? Well, because I've got a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and then this is something I want to actually guarantee to have on turn 4, because a Chillwind Yeti on turn 4 is just so ridiculous, especially if you've got early game plays to be able to play it. It's just nice. Alright, so my opponent also has an Infiltrator. I don't see any reason to drop the Flame Tongue Totem here. My opponent could just, of course, kill it with the Infiltrator and Shapeshift. Just have it die. So let's get an actual minion down, put some pressure, force my opponent to use some removal spells, and see what he wants to do. Now he can get card advantage up by just shapeshifting and killing the Infiltrator. And that is stone cold card advantage, there's no question about that. But hopefully I'll be able to get it back at some point, and I would be gaining some time. Right, so he's gonna Wrath. What is he Wrathing, actually? He's gonna actually Wrath the Berserker, so no card advantage for him. He could have Wrathed this for card advantage, but he judged the Berserker was a dangerous enough threat. He's actually going to coin. Is he going to claw to kill this thing? He is actually going to claw. Well, at least I got rid of his coin. The problem is that, you know, on turn 2 with 2 mana, he cleared my board and left a minion for himself. So now, the Raid Leader kind of sucks. So does the Flame Tongue Totem. So I'd say that my opponent had a very good turn there. Now I'm going to make a little bit of an unorthodox move. I'm actually going to play the Raid Leader. So the way I'm looking at this Raid Leader is it's basically like a 3-mana removal spell for this Worgen Infiltrator. It's basically how I'm looking at it, but I feel like that's better than just making a totem, having it die, and having him get further ahead on the board. So that was the gamble I took. It Master. Alright, well, this is actually very annoying. Chillwind Yeti will kill it, but the imps will stick around, and I don't really have a way of killing those, but still, it's pretty decent. There will be 2 imps left for me to deal with, assuming I can actually get this kill. Gnomish Inventor could actually be alright for picking those up, so could Totems plus Flame Tongue. Alright, he's got another Infiltrator, that's annoying. And a Raging Worgen. Well, the good news is that he's just dropping stuff to, like, die at me, which is something I'm okay with. Alright, well, what I'm going to do is kill the most dangerous creature, even though that means letting him make some more imps. And I'm going to play another Yeti. I think the 5 health is relevant, and the 4 power could be relevant. So now the Infiltrator can finish off the Yeti, if he wishes. He could also use an Imp plus Shapeshift. So he's going to actually give a charge. Oh, he's going to kill some stuff off right now. Well, that's actually fine. I'm okay with this. It almost would have been more annoying had he made it the 4-6 taunt, because I couldn't have gotten through that very easily. Actually, I could have used Flame Tongue on the Yeti. Yeah, I would have gotten through pretty easily. Illidan Storm Rage. Well, do I play it now? I think that's a little bit premature. Let's draw a card and make a totem. Get some board presence up here first. Ooh, even better than that is River Crocolisk. I'd like to get rid of this imp situation before I drop Illidan. Plus, the Inventor is good, because she drew a card, and then she's also going to mop up some of these imps for me. Which is nice. Bloodlust will be dead for a while. Time's kind of passing this Flame Tongue by, but I can always drop it later. This game I haven't gotten a single minion to stick. Despite having minions every single turn of the game, turn 1, 2, 3, 4, I just have not gotten anything to stick. So that's kind of annoying. Though his 2 Worgen Infiltrators were extremely helpful for maintaining the board presence that he has. This is why 1 mana minions are good to have. And it's kind of unfortunate that he drew his, but I'm not out of the game yet. I mean, he's got 6 cards to my 5, soon to be 6, and you gotta figure some of his cards are pretty dinky. So I could have a pretty good chance here, but if he does drop a big thing and I don't have Hex, and I haven't yet played Illidan, or gotten him to stay on the board, I could be in trouble. A swipe would of course let him clear my board, and keep minions up. That would be annoying.
Time waits for no one.
Time waits for no one. He's gonna Defender of Argus, and I assume Shapeshift to kill off my River Crocolisk with one of these imps. I think that was actually a mistake, though. I'd say that was a pretty big mistake that he just made. There's no reason for him to throw away that imp there. What he should have done instead is just attacked me in the face, left this imp around for me to attack. Now I got to kill that imp, and I'm going to get to kill this imp master. So do I play Illidan now? The problem is if I don't play him, my turn's a little bit lame. It's just going to be a Totemic Call and double Flame Tongues that are just going to die. So I have to play him here. It's unfortunate that he can how easily my opponent can kill this. He just needs 1 more point of damage, and then Shapeshift plus his minions will do the job. But, you know, it's still a 6-mana minion that he's going to have to throw everything at. The best card he could have here is Starfire. He'd spend his whole turn killing this, but it would be card advantage. And then he could use the Imp to finish off the Enormous Inventor, or even just the Defender of Argus. And then with 2 Flame Tongues and a Bloodlust, I'd be in an awkward shape. One of these Flame Tongues could have been something else, and I wish it were. My friend Dan did an experiment where he played like with 5 Flame Tongues, and that was too many, obviously. I thought 2 would be alright. Here it's kind of biting me a bit. Alright, if he doesn't have a Abusive Sergeant or a Claw or a Wrath, Illidan's gonna live. Alright, so I just dropped Illidan in front of a Druid at 7 mana, and it just survived the turn. Lovely as well as dovely. So now we're gonna get a bunch of 2/1s here. Do I play Stormwind Champion? If I play 2 Flame Tongue Totems, I would get 2 2/1s. Is that worth it? Or should I just drop a 6/6 and call it a day? I think it's actually worth it to get those 2/1s, because he clearly doesn't have Swipe. If he had Swipe, he would have played it already. I wish I had totems on the board so that these Flame Tongues would actually buff something. Let's make a totem now, actually. Hopefully it's a taunt. Oh, lucky that I got the taunt there. We'll put the other Flame Tongue on the other side of that taunt. Alright, much as I hate doing this, I'm going to run into this Azure Drake. You just can't let a Druid keep spell damage. Swipe would be kind of amazing. He could just swipe the Flame Tongue. It would clear off Illidan, both of the flames, and then the Taunt Totem. But again, I'm counting on the fact that he sort of demonstrated to me not having a swipe, because he had some really, really good opportunities to use it on previous turns. And if he had it then, you know, it would have been good then, but then he wouldn't have it now. So I think I haven't been like that lucky that he doesn't have swipe. You're obviously always lucky if a Druid doesn't have swipe, but I feel like there have definitely been times in my life where it's been more lucky. Alright, so he's going to use the Loot Hoarder. Should have done that technically before shapeshifting, just in case he needed to use up all of his mana for something. I have to confess, honestly, even luckier than him not having swipe is that I got that Taunt Totem, because that's really, really helpful. Get him with that Loot Hoarder. Alright, so I got the Flames, some really badly positioned Flame Tongue Totems. But this thing will probably trade into something. Yeah. And, okay, he's just going to play an Abusive Sergeant. So he's played a few 1-drops. What is he doing? No, you need to kill... No, what are you doing? Okay, for some reason it was pointing at my Flame Tongue, but no, he killed off the flame over here. Good times. Okay. Well, I think it behooves me to just play Stormwind Champion now. Make a totem. Hopefully it's another taunt. Nope. That's actually fine in its own right, though. So we'll trade up my flame for the Yeti. The Illidan was really good there. My opponent had that 1-turn window to kill him, where all he needed was a single point of damage, and he just didn't have it. So the fact that I got those 2 flames was really good for me. Ironbark Protector is kind of irritating. Now what I could do is I could actually Bloodlust. then throw away a Flame Tongue plus a Healing Totem. Or I could just throw away the Stormwind Champion. I'd like to keep the Stormwind Champion around, though, to be totally honest with you. So what we're going to do here is, in fact, Bloodlust. And Defender of Argus, not quite enough to the Flame Tongue trade up. So the Defender doesn't really make a difference. So I guess I will just cash out my damaged Flame Tongue Totem, my Healing Totem. Swing for 15 damage. And do that. Loot Hoarder, call it a day. Now, I could have played Defender of Argus here for 2 more damage and give these guys taunt. But I think I like having the Loot Hoarder and an extra totem on the field, because with Stormwind Champion out, every extra minion I put on the board makes a difference. A pretty big one. Alright, well, that should be the game, unless he's got a Sun Fury Protector. And even then, that's probably the game. Okay, that's the game! Woo! Well, pretty solid win, helped by the Druid not having Swipe, and by me having Illidan, and him not having Starfire for it. But, I will say this. You know, my opponent was very lucky in other respects. Like, it wasn't just that he lost because he didn't have Swipe. He had an Infiltrator on turn 1, he had Claw and Wrath with the Coin on turn 2 to clear my board and establish board dominance. I mean, he had his lucky breaks. I think my deck was better, and maybe my play was even better. There was also that weird moment where he threw away an Imp and a 2-2 taunt into a 2-4, causing his Imp Master to die a turn earlier. That was a little bit of a misplay. Chawagij. Alright, very happy to see Bloodlust in my opening hand, so I can mulligan it. I don't want 2 3-drops when I'm the first player, so I'll send back the Stupid Monkey and keep the Razorfen Hunter. Alright, Infiltrator shows up again, good. So, Infiltrator, Totem, Hunter, Gnomish Inventor is the curve. This is... yeah, there are things that will definitely beat this, both in terms of removal or just better minions. But it's alright. Illidan also shows up, so if I can keep stuff on the board versus this Hunter as opposed to against that Druid, Illidan will be good. Now, Illidan's obviously bad against Unleash the Hounds, because every flame you put on the board means an extra Hound. And, of course, the dogs can all just kill it. Alright, do you play Dust Devil here? That would stop me from doing anything next turn. How could he kill a Dust Devil? Well, a decent number of ways. Unleash the Hounds. Arcane Shot, obviously. Charging Murlocs. No multi-shot just yet. No Deadly Shot, because I have the Infiltrator to protect it. I mean, it would be kind of a big deal if this stuck around. Let's try it. It's risky, but the reason I'm doing this is that if he has Unleash the Hounds, he'll play it right now. I'd rather he play it right now than play it later. Even though that means that next turn I don't do anything. So I'm basically missing the Razorfen Hunter. Okay, he didn't have Unleash the Hounds. So my mana's overloaded. Oh, Flame Tongue. Boy, that could be good. Well, I mean, a Flame Tongue on this, there's a video that showed up recently, or not recently, it was a while back, where Trump lost to someone who played Dust Devil, Coin Dust Devil, and then, like, you swing for 12 on turn 2, and then on turn 3 played a Flame Tongue Totem, and then Flame Tongue Totem with Dust Devil is great. So he's going to use an Eagle Horn Bow to kill it. Well, I think that's alright. So the Dust Devil did 6 damage, and took a charge with the bow. For 3 mana, that's pretty decent. Alright, hopefully I can Flame Tongue kill whatever he plays. No, it's a Vengeful Mercenary. Well, that is a pretty good play for my opponent, unfortunately, because I really... yeah, Flame Tongue's just not enough, so I am going to have to just Hex this thing. So it kind of sucks using Hex against a 5-drop, but that is about as good as Vengeful Mercenary gets. Now, I didn't want to play this just to have a die to the bow. I'd rather put a totem out, but that's only because I have a Flame Tongue here. If I didn't have this Flame Tongue, I would have just played the Money Berserker, try to eat up the bow. Keep in mind that leaving bows around against hunters is a little dangerous because there's always the risk that they will play secrets and get more value out of their bows. Alright, with this thing here, I think now is the correct time to play a Flame Tongue Totem. Trade my Gnomish Inventor. Drop Yeti on the correct side of the Flame Tongue, and swing for 2 with my Healing Totem. So the Flame Tongue will die to the bow, however, it did its job by essentially killing that panda. So I'm pretty happy with that. What I'm not happy about is that he can kill this without having to spend any mana, and then he's got 6 mana for the turn. So depending on how good his turn is will really affect the game. This is a very critical turn here. If he has like a lame turn, he'd be in trouble. Alright, this is it. So he spends 6 mana to kill my Yeti. Well, I could draw my ooze a bit late. Illidan got the healing totem protecting me against a deadly shot. If I can play a bunch of stuff, but then it opens me up to Unleash the Hounds. Granted, this is pretty safe against the beast, and so is this. I just don't want him to draw 4 cards off of Buzzard Hounds. Yeah, we're gonna do this. So, you know, if you ask your opponent enough questions, eventually he'll run out of answers. There are definitely answers he could have here, like Beast Kill Command, Lucky on a Deadly Shot, or Explosive Shot are kind of the obvious ones. But, you know, he might not have those cards. And if he does, spending 6 mana to make him use them is fine. So it looks like he does have the Deadly Shot. He's gonna... Oh, no, never mind. I thought he was gonna Deadly Shot, or Arcane Shot this and Deadly Shot him. But, okay, that's also a way of killing it. So it's a 2-for-1. I'm completely happy with how that went. I'd love my other Flame Tongue Totem here. Alas, Raid Leader doesn't quite put out enough juice. Let's do Healing Totem. Let's do a regular old totem. And out of respect for my opponent being a hunter, let us in fact play the Berserker here. So Unleash the Hounds plus the Buzzard would still be really good. It would give him 4 cards, but you can't play around that combo too much in Arena. And I just basically played this instead of playing the Razorfen Hunter out of respect for it. Okay, looks like no Buzzard Hounds here. Sea Giant is a pretty good card though, and I've already used my Hex. That's unfortunate. That is extremely unfortunate. I'm gonna have a hell of a hard time killing that Sea Giant. I think I have to actually try to race him out at this point, which is difficult because he's gonna clear out most of my board, and all I've got is 2 damage. I might actually just lose to that Sea Giant at this point. God damn it. Okay, well, we're gonna do the old if you're losing, flood the board strategy. I don't have the luxury to play around hounds anymore. We're just going to have to flood the board. And hope that, you know, he can kill off 2 of my things, but hopefully he can't kill them all, and then I just need to try to pound him out. So, Lava Burst, very important card. If he doesn't have hounds to clear my board, then Bloodlust is obviously now also an important card, and Raid Leader could be good. Oh my gosh, is that an explosive trap? It's probably an explosive trap. And it kills everything except for my golem. He's actually hitting me in the face, so he's actually racing me out now. Interesting. That must be an explosive trap. He wouldn't be that confident about attacking me if it wasn't for explosive trap. Oh, geez. Gladiator Longbow. After I play my ooze, of course. And he's actually going straight for the face. Okay, so he says, alright, boy, you want to race? I'll race ya. Ah, Bloodlust. Okay, well, let's take a look here. So, what survives explosive trap? Only the golem and the hunter. So, I deal 4 plus 6 is 10 damage to him. It's not enough. Raid Leader doesn't work, by the way, because he dies to the explosive trap. So before the buff registers. God, that explosive trap is winning the game for him. He's got 8 plus 5 is 13 damage. Alright. Well, I'm going to assume that is an explosive trap. So can I kill this thing? I can actually. Let me do this. Let me Bloodlust here. What this allows me to do is kill off the Sea Giant. Now I'm assuming that's an explosive trap, but in case it's not, in case it is like a freezing trap, let's do this. Okay, so it's not a freezing trap. It's almost certainly explosive trap. So now we'll run the Loot Hoarder in, draw a card. Croncolisk, not exactly what I needed. Throw the Healing Totem away. And now I might as well attack. On the off chance that it's not explosive trap. But it is explosive trap. Always assume that a hunter has the best secrets, folks. Taunt, please? Not a taunt. Well, he's got 5-7 damage and a 6 health. It's actually a little bit difficult to deal 6 damage with 2 cards as a hunter. Even Unleash the Hounds by itself isn't enough. He's gonna. Both of these cards basically, unless it's King Crush, unless it's King Crush, both of these cards do need to contribute to the damage. So Unleash the Hounds here will win him the game, because that would be 8 damage. He does not have it though. Alright, well, I win now, thanks to Raid Leader. And that gives me the final point of damage that I need. Or Flame Tongue Totem also works, but let's do Raid Leader. Yes, let's handle it. That was a really close game, but we pulled it out in the end. So, thanks for watching that video. If you enjoyed it, do please like and or subscribe. And if you want to see how the run ends, then stay tuned. I'll be posting the rest of the game shortly. I'll see you then.